What if I told you there are places on Earth so remote that getting there feels like traveling to another planet? Villages with no roads, communities reachable only by helicopter, mule, or rare supply ships, places where modern life seems to have completely stopped. Today, we're counting down 15 of the most isolated villages on Earth. Some are hidden deep inside canyons, others sit on frozen Arctic coastlines, and one village has more dolls than actual people. Stick around until the end, because the final location is considered the most isolated inhabited community on the entire planet. Let's begin. Supai, Arizona, USA. Imagine a village hidden deep inside the Grand Canyon where no roads exist. Welcome to Supai. To reach this tiny Havasupai community, visitors must hike 8 miles through rugged canyon terrain, ride horses or mules, or arrive by helicopter. Even the mail is delivered by mule. But the reward is unforgettable. Bright turquoise waterfalls cascade through red canyon walls, creating one of the most stunning landscapes in America. The village feels frozen in time, offering a rare glimpse into authentic canyon life far away from busy cities. And if you think reaching Supai is difficult, wait until you see a place surrounded by Arctic ice, Ittoqqortoormiit, Greenland. This tiny settlement sits beside the world's largest fjord system. Just saying the name is difficult. Getting there is even harder. Ittoqqortoormiit is surrounded by glaciers, sea ice, and endless Arctic wilderness. For much of the year, the frozen landscape controls everyday life. Polar bears, musk oxen, and dramatic icebergs are part of the scenery here. The silence is almost unbelievable. Standing outside, all you hear is wind moving across the frozen world. But our next destination isn't trapped by ice, it's trapped by the ocean. Tristan to Cunha, South Atlantic Ocean. In the middle of the South Atlantic Ocean sits a volcanic island so isolated that it has become legendary, Tristan to Cunha. No airport, no quick getaway, only occasional ships connect it to the outside world. Fewer than 250 people call this island home. Imagine living thousands of miles from major cities, surrounded by nothing but endless waves and towering volcanic peaks. For many travelers, simply reaching the island is considered a life achievement. Yet even this remote island isn't our most difficult destination. Motuo, Medog, Tibet, China. Hidden among the Himalayas lies one of China's most remote regions. Motuo feels untouched. Deep valleys, towering mountains, dense forests, and winding trails create a landscape that looks straight out of an adventure movie. For decades, reaching this area was incredibly difficult. The isolation helped preserve rare wildlife, unique plants, and a sense of wilderness that has disappeared from much of the world. Every corner feels unexplored. And speaking of unexplored places, our next location barely sees visitors at all. Kerguelen Islands, French Southern Territories. Nicknamed the Desolation Islands, the Kerguelen Islands sit in the southern Indian Ocean. Just hearing that nickname should tell you something. There are no tourist crowds here. Only scientists, expedition teams, and some of the harshest conditions on Earth. The landscape is filled with volcanic mountains, powerful winds, penguins, seals, and endless wilderness. Standing here feels like standing at the edge of the world, but our next location proves you don't have to be on a remote island to feel isolated. Whittier, Alaska, USA. Imagine living in a town where almost everyone shares one building. That's Whittier, surrounded by glaciers, mountains, and icy waters. This unique Alaskan town is connected to the outside world through a single tunnel carved through a mountain. The tunnel controls access in and out. It's one of the strangest transportation systems in America. The scenery is breathtaking, but the isolation is very real. And things get even stranger with our next village, Monowi, Nebraska, USA. What if your entire village had only one resident? That's not a joke, Monowi. Nebraska officially has a population of 1. Elsie Eiler serves as mayor, librarian, bartender, and essentially the entire local government. She keeps the town alive by running its tavern and preserving its unique identity. It's one of the most unusual communities on Earth. But our next destination trades loneliness for wilderness. Port Alsworth, Alaska, USA, deep inside Lake Clark National Park sits Port Alsworth. There are no highways leading here. Most visitors arrive by small aircraft. The village is surrounded by pristine lakes, mountains, wildlife, and endless Alaskan beauty. Bears roam nearby forests. Fishing opportunities are world-class, and the night skies seem to stretch forever. It's the kind of place where nature completely dominates daily life. Before we continue, I want to know something. Out of all the places we've seen so far, which one would you actually visit? The canyon village where mail arrives by mule? The Arctic settlement surrounded by ice? Or the island so remote that ships are the only way in? Drop your answer in the comments right now. And here's the crazy part. The locations we've covered so far aren't even the most extreme. The next villages are stranger, colder, and in some cases so unusual that scientists still can't fully explain them. Trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. Utqiaġvik, Barrow, Alaska, USA. This is the northernmost city in the United States, and life here is anything but ordinary. During winter, the sun disappears for more than 2 months. During summer, it barely sets. Imagine weeks of darkness followed by weeks of daylight. Located on the Arctic Ocean, Utqiaġvik offers dramatic landscapes and deep connections to indigenous Inupiat culture. It's one of the most fascinating places in North America. Yet the next village feels like a forgotten frontier out of the gold rush era. Chicken, Alaska, USA, yes. It's really called Chicken. And yes, people actually live there. This tiny settlement has no cell service, limited modern conveniences, and a strong frontier spirit. Visitors come for gold panning, rugged wilderness, and the famous Chicken Stock Music Festival. The town feels like a living reminder of Alaska's pioneering past. But our next village may be the strangest place on this entire list. Nagoro, Japan. Imagine walking through a village where hundreds of people seem to be staring at you, then realizing they aren't people, they're dolls. Nagoro has fewer than 30 human residents, but more than 350 life-size dolls created by artist Ayano Tsukimi. The dolls sit at bus stops, work in fields, and fill empty classrooms. It's beautiful, it's haunting, and it's unlike anywhere else on Earth. But the mystery only gets deeper from here. Yangsi, China. Known worldwide as the Village of Dwarfs, Yangsi has puzzled researchers for decades. A significant portion of its population has unusually short stature, and no confirmed explanation has ever fully solved the mystery. Local legends speak of curses, scientists have proposed theories, yet questions remain. Its unusual story and rural isolation have made it one of the world's most fascinating villages. And now we're entering the final 3, Miyake-jima, Japan. Miyake-jima is paradise with a dangerous side. This volcanic island is dominated by Mount Oyama, an active volcano that has erupted multiple times. In 2000, residents were forced to evacuate entirely. Today, people have returned, living alongside the powerful forces that shape the island. Black sand beaches, lava fields, and dramatic coastlines create incredible scenery. But our next destination takes isolation to an entirely different level. Cirque de Mafate, Réunion. No roads, no cars, no shortcuts. Cirque de Mafate can only be reached on foot or by helicopter. Hidden inside a massive volcanic basin, tiny settlements are scattered among cliffs, forests, and mountain ridges. Every supply must be carried or flown in. The result is one of the most isolated communities anywhere in the world. The scenery is breathtaking, but one final location still stands above them all. Edinburgh of the Seven Seas, Tristan de Cunha. This is it. The most isolated inhabited settlement on Earth. Edinburgh of the Seven Seas sits on Tristan de Cunha, thousands of miles from major population centers. There is no airport. Only a handful of ships visit each year. The entire community numbers around 250 people. Imagine growing up knowing the nearest city is farther away than most people can comprehend. Yet despite the isolation, residents have built a strong, close-knit community surrounded by one of the most remote landscapes on the planet. It is the ultimate definition of living at the edge of the world. From hidden canyon villages and frozen Arctic settlements to volcanic islands and communities reachable only by helicopter, these places prove that our world still contains incredible corners untouched by modern convenience. Which of these remote villages surprised you the most? Would you hike to Supai, visit the doll village of Nagoro, or spend a week on the world's most isolated island? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed exploring these hidden places, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications because there are still countless unbelievable destinations waiting to be discovered. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next adventure.